Hey guys, Dr. Charles here, aka CoachMD. In my over 30 years of medical practice, I've made it my goal to help you create a great life by achieving a strong mind, a healthy body, and an unshakable spirit. What I'm going to talk to you today about is the body part and the idea of intermittent fasting. You may have heard it. It's the quote, diet craze, as you've heard. And intermittent fasting, it kind of cracks me up, honestly, because I've been doing this for over 20 years. This is my life. I don't eat roughly for, let's say, probably 15 hours a day, let's say. I stop eating around 8 o'clock at night and start eating again the next day at noon or so. I drink fluids, but I don't eat solid food for the most part. Sometimes when we're on vacation, I cheat a little bit, but it's really helped me. And you may say, oh, how do you get through the morning? Well, I get through pretty good, actually, and pretty awake and a lot of energy. It's just a matter of getting used to it. So let's hear what the experts have to say. And this is a very interesting video. Dr. Oz, I have a lot of respect for Dr. Oz. He was a cardiothoracic surgeon at one point, actually practicing at Columbia Presbyterian, referred many patients to him, we've been at affairs together, and he knows his stuff. You may have your views on him, but he does know his stuff. Let's hear what they got to say here.
A closer look at the latest diet craze to sweep the nation called intermittent fasting.
That's right.
Latest diet craze. I mean, come on. Yeah, latest diet craze. I've been doing it for over 20 years. Okay.
Right. It involves eating only during specified windows of time each day. We're going to talk about the pros and cons with our man, Dr. Oz, in a moment. But first, let's hear from viewers and some members of our own staff who are giving the trend a try.
I've been doing the 10-hour window.
So I was eating 8 hours a day, lunch, snack, dinner.
I intermittent fast from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m.
I can't do the full day fast. I just feel like it doesn't fit into my schedule.
I just started intermittent fasting, and I gotta tell you, I am starving.
I like the fact that I don't go to bed feeling as bloated.
Well, when she said she just started it, I mean, this is the problem with diets, okay? I mean, you say, oh, I tried that in October, but it didn't work, right? I mean, this is a lifestyle. This is an eating pattern. This is not just trying something for a set period of time and then saying, oh, it doesn't work. I mean, this is something which you adapt and you make a habit and you integrate it into your lifestyle. But this guy right here says he doesn't feel as bloated. Yeah.
My clothes are starting to fit a little bit better.
There are some days I just feel like I need to eat, and some days I just don't feel like I need to eat as much.
It definitely makes me feel like I'm, refreshed for the day.
I've been doing this for about a year and a half. I've lost 30
pounds. Good for you. A year and a half.
245 pounds. I'm currently 189 pounds.
I've lost 10 pounds and 3 inches in my waist.
I think it makes you a lot more aware of what you're putting into your body.
Intermittent fasting has really changed my life.
Just a few of them.
Yeah. How do you figure out if intermittent fasting is for you? Dr. Mehmet Oz, host of the Dr. Oz Show.
Going to mention something also, just quickly, about the intermittent fasting. Been many studies to look at people who do intermittently fast. For instance, as I say, my pattern is I don't eat in the evening, or if I do eat late in the evening, I'll push the next time I eat a little bit later. But this does have an effect on a lot of systems in the body. There's one study that was done on these things called telomeres, which are at the tips, like when you have a shoelace, and that little tip, the plastic tip on the top, that's on our chromosomes, and that gets shorter, and shorter as we age. And there have been studies to show that when we monitor our eating and we eat less, when we restrict calories or we do this intermittent fasting, those telomeres actually don't shorten as fast. But let's hear what Dr. Oz has to say.
Was here to help, Dr. Oz. As you know, Carson and I decided to start experimenting with this a couple weeks ago. So we've been trying to intermittent fast too.
Yeah.
We have a lot of questions for you.
Yeah. First of all, how do you pick? Like I'm in my second week of it, and I'm on a 16-hour fast in an 8-hour window of eating. So I eat from noon until 8. That's my window.
Right, so let me just take a step back. So religions have been touting the benefits of fasting for your soul for millennia, right?
Yeah.
But doctors actually for about 100 years have known that it was good for mental health, it was good for weight loss, it was good if you're a diabetic, good for intestinal issues, all those things. And actually it's chronicled beautifully. Dr. Krupa, head of our medical unit, wrote a great book, What to Eat When, which has been the foundation of what we've been talking about on the show this year. And it's all about these issues. Now, I'm going to answer your question, but I don't want people being scared off. Ideally, you can hack fasting, because who wants to starve themselves all life long, even though it makes you live longer, by using a 16-hour fast, which means basically at 6 p.m., you can start fasting all through the night. You're sleeping ideally most of the time. And then when you get up in the morning, don't eat. Don't eat when you first get up, because most people aren't hungry anyway. Wait a couple hours, and about 10 in the morning, you eat again.
You know, it's interesting what he says about that. Most people aren't hungry. I've noticed in myself, and you comment below, and also at the same time, like and subscribe when you get a chance. It'll be great to hear your comments and to see you more. Hit the little bell, which is the notification, which will alert you when I have a new video out or a new program. But what he's saying is that eating you're not hungry when you first wake up. I notice that when I eat late, I am hungry when I wake up. The later I eat, the more hungry I am when I wake up. If I stop eating around 8 o'clock or so, 6 p.m. is pushing a little bit. And honestly, 10 a.m., eating at 10 a.m., our body produces cortisol. I've talked about this in other videos. I encourage you to look at those about the sugar when I talk about sugar. But our body peaks cortisol in the early morning hours, meaning our body's putting out sugar. We don't need to eat because our body is making sugar when we wake up. And by 10 a.m., the sugar hasn't gone down. By around noon, the sugar has gone down and it's time to eat. So our forefathers 20,000 years ago would wake up and they'd go and they'd hunt and they'd gather and then they'd eat around noon or so and then retire for the night around probably between 6 and 9 or when sundown was. So 10 a.m. I think is a little early. So I have to disagree with Dr. Oz here.
So, but two things are wrong. No one stops eating at 6 p.m. So that's unrealistic, A.
It is unrealistic.
At 6 p.m.? Well, you get up at 3 in the morning. And also, we've taught our whole lives that breakfast is the biggest most important meal, and this is counterintuitive.
I think that was a marketing hype, that you had to eat breakfast.
I agree with Dr. Oz here.
When you get up, if you're not hungry, do not eat till you are hungry. Yeah. And when you train your body, you can go 16 hours without difficulty. But I got to say, I don't go 16 hours. I intermittent fast. Yeah. Right? I go 12 hours. So I stop eating my dinner at 8. When I get up in the morning, I'm not hungry like most Americans aren't. By about 8 in the morning, I have breakfast. And if you careful of what you eat when you're allowed to eat, because you can.
Okay, so Dr. Oz here is saying about breakfast being a high. He's eating at 8 o'clock. He's eating breakfast. So he's actually, if you're going to do that, I would, if I get a conversation with him, which could happen, I would ask him what he eats, because hopefully he's not eating carbohydrates at 8 o'clock, because again, cortisol spikes around 4 in the morning. Our sugar level is very good at 8 o'clock in the morning. So you don't need to pile on more carbs, more sugar at 8 o'clock in the morning. Protein, maybe, if you're if you're going to eat pure protein at that time. That's what I would say. So that's not really intermittent fasting. You're not really getting the benefits the way Dr. Oz is doing. I know he leads a fairly healthy lifestyle, but I have to disagree with him here.
You can eat a lot of stuff in those 12 hours that's left, then you can actually do that 12 hour, and it seems to work.
Okay, well, and before we guys, we have some ideas of what you could eat in your window, but why does it work? What is the body process that happens that makes
Good question.
You're tricking your body to go from ketosis to normal use of sugar back to ketosis. So the body wants to use sugar. But if you only use sugar, you get fat and your brain doesn't work so well and your body begins to fall apart. If you could half the time be in a moment where your body can just sort of zero out, reset, your hormones calm down, then it works. And you asked me a very important question, and which I think we'll get to with Hoda, which is about whether you can cheat in the time you're supposed to be fasting.
Oh, yeah. Well, can you? I mean, like, could I have, I like to put half and half in my coffee. Does that break the fast? I have a Tic Tac. Does that break the fast?
We did an experiment. We actually took our medical unit, 6 people, energetic folks, and we had them fast overnight, and then we gave them exactly what you asked, 2 teaspoonfuls of half and half. right? About 25 calories.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it turns out, well, that is, it's a splash of something in your coffee.
Nothing.
And it turns out that for the first half hour, is a little bit of an increase in your sugar, not much, and then it goes back to baseline within an hour. So I think, although it's not true for everybody.
We need a whole show for this.
For most people, but most people can do.
And you know what? Look at my video. Look at my video when I talk about the continuous glucose monitors, because I did this experiment on myself and I see what happens. Everything I'm talking about, I've measured on myself. I do this. It's real to me. So yes, there are some foods that do spike blood sugar, and that's exactly what we don't want to do. Our blood sugar goes up in the morning. I've seen it in myself. If we don't eat anything, nothing at all, our blood sugar is going up. So if you tack on some more, then that's going to increase it more, and then that's going to be converted into fat in the body and stored as fat. Now, intermittent fasting, you could have black coffee. I drink water, tea, but I don't eat or consume calories. Or if I'm going to be working out, I might have a powder mix, which is no more than 15 to 20 calories. But that's and then let's see what they have to say. Yeah.
Do that, but I wouldn't have that an hour before you're done your fast. What's the point? But in the 3 hours before you're done, do it.
Okay, I have 5 seconds. I'm going to eat up unless you're fasting. We're back after your local news.
Okay, so that ends here. It's very good. We're going to end this if I can. Let me try to end this right now. Okay, very good. So I hope that's helpful for you, because it's really important to understand the dynamics of eating. And this is not about a diet to lose weight. It's a lifestyle. It's actually an eating pattern, which is really good for you. So I would encourage you to look into intermittent fasting the way I do it. Stop eating around 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night, and don't eat again until noon. And don't eat right when you get up. Drink fluids, though. Keep hydrated. It's really important. If you need your caffeine, I suggest tea, but black coffee, organic black coffee if you can, is great. Don't put anything in it. I can't do that. That's why I don't drink coffee, because it's too bitter for me. But anyway, hopefully this helps. Let me know your comments. I really want to hear what you have to say. And until next time, I'm Dr. Charles, a.k.a. CoachMD, encouraging you to stay strong in mind, in body, and in soul. Bye for now.
Dr. Charles, CoachMD. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to like and comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you think you have a friend who might benefit from this video, share it with them. For access to exclusive content, support my Patreon. There you'll get private access to videos, meditations, health tips, even relationship and financial tips. You'll have a say in what I produce and be able to participate in a monthly call with me. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you soon.